I want to scroll back to the conversation about the national anthem being a waste of time. Why is it a waste of time? Because we've been discussing this over the course of the last few shows, and about how we're taking these minute things and we're just twisting and crushing them, right? Can't say thanks to a neighbor who snow plows your driveway because you know that they voted for the person that you didn't like. So you can't, how much thanks can you really give them, right? And then it gets to a moment of gratitude, which to me is what the national anthem is about. To sit there and reflect for 90 seconds, 2 minutes, right? Whichever superstar is singing it and going to put like whoever comes out, right? When Lady Gaga comes out, is it really about the national anthem, or is it the fact that Lady Gaga is singing it, right? And then it becomes all about them and how they sang it, right? And they sort of take the light away from the national anthem and put it on them. But it's a moment to sit there and go, wow, I'm so grateful to be here, to get to do this, and I'm just going to go out there and do my best, right? Don't you need that moment before you go and play a game? Don't you need a moment of just of clarity before you get your head into a game?
I think for me, the national anthem, even if I hear it at a high school football game, it's a time where I literally just sit there and I zone in and I just kind of take a second. I think about watching, it's funny, Anthem a little bit ago. Anthem it seems like it's pretty dug in on this. And that's great. That's great. And I value other opinions on this. But Anthem says, it didn't used to be played in baseball, the national game, until after World War I. But why was it played after World War I? It was played, the first time it was played in World War I was in the 1918 Chicago, New York World Series. 1918 World Series. And why was it played after World War I? To honor the people who fought in World War I, right? Then after that, it became a long-standing tradition, right? Mm-hmm. And you think about the national anthem. People are, why do you even do it? Think about some of the most powerful times in sports. I think in when Whitney Houston in front of the Super Bowl, during Operation Desert Storm and Desert Shield, Whitney Houston comes out, sings one of the most outstanding national anthems ever, right? Literally, you can feel the country uniting through this. That is why the national anthem is important, especially today. And people are, it's so fractured right now. The world is so fractured. People are getting upset about snow shovels. People are getting upset about everything, blaming everything on about everything, right? Yeah. And you're telling me we can't use a little unity? That's what the whole phrase right now. We're going to bring people together. We're going to bring people. Really? We're going to bring people together by dividing people? That makes a whole lot of sense. Makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah, let's go with it.
Yeah, it's a preemptive agreement that no matter how heated, no matter what happens over the course of the game, you've got your team, I've got my team. We're going to be yelling at each other, but at the end of the game, we're still going to be together as Americans, right? Like you sort of go into it knowing. Now, if you remove that psychologically, it's not there throughout the game, right? It still has a psychological effect on you. That's the whole point. You're supposed to stand there, like you said, and reflect, appreciate. And then that does, you would think that would carry through the game subconsciously, right? So after the game, no matter who wins, no matter who loses, hey, why do we teach kids to do good game after the game, right? Because at the end of the day, it's just a game, right? At the end of the day, we're all just people. We're all just getting along. So that's an important reason to keep it going, in my opinion.
Smartlight, real quick, has made a few comments in here talking about how the flag is a jingle, or the anthem is a jingle, and the flags are like, I didn't quite read it, but he says, does the EA Sports "It's in the Game" jingle mean the same to you as it did 20 years ago? What does that have to do with anything? I mean, I think at the end of the day, I don't see America as a brand that makes me video games. I see America as a place where you can go with nothing and turn it into something. I see tons of examples where you see immigrants coming in that literally, they don't speak the language. They come in with nothing. And all of a sudden they have a life. They have an opportunity to get away. All these people who complain about America have never lived anywhere else, never seen anything else. And it drives me crazy. America's not a brand. There are some people who make it a brand, but America's not a brand as a whole. It's a place where you can have where you can take nothing and turn it into something. That's the beauty of America. It's not about if it's in the game or not. Absolutely not. You know, that's not something I pay $60 to play Madden with. It's crazy. I don't even, what?
Well, that's what commercialism has done. You know, it has taken over you see commercialism in every facet. You see it in Christianity. You see it in patriotism. You do see it, but you have to be able to gut check yourself. You have to know that some things you can't really mess with to that degree, right?
It's tough, you know. Here it is right here. Anthem says, when staying out of the national anthem became political, it became divisive. If you remove the anthem, it removes a divisive moment. Right. I understand people want to make their state. You think of Kaepernick, you know, taking his knee, and then the NBA taking the knee with Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. Look, if you guys want to make your statements, that's fine. That's fine. I totally get it. Right. Let's just all take a 90 seconds to 2 minutes and actually be united in a time of divisiveness. I don't understand what the issue is with that. Yeah, okay, you take out the national anthem, it takes out the divisiveness. Okay, sounds good. Are we just gonna duck every single time there, you know, every single time things get a little hard, they get a little uncomfortable? Is that the idea? Well, I don't like it. But I feel uncomfortable about this, and I don't really like it. So,
but does it really take out the divisiveness? Because it didn't seem like that really did take out any divisiveness. It just added to the divisiveness. You know, it's because what you have there is a ratio problem, right? I would assume most people, and this is not scientific. I'm just assuming here. Okay, everybody. I assume most people that go to any sporting event appreciate and stand there and like having the national anthem played before the game. You can usually tell that because by the end of the song, everybody cheers with a rip-roaring applause and is ready for the game, right? And that's the majority. And then you have a smaller group of people that don't want it, that find problems with it. And so what you're doing when you take it away, you haven't taken away the divisiveness because the majority of the people wanted it. It's not that half the people even didn't want it and half the people did. It's that the majority, an overwhelming majority of people want the national anthem played. So, you know, if he wants to take his knee, take your knee, do what you want to do, but you don't have to then add on top of that. Let him as a single person make his statement. It doesn't have to carry through to even the team. If he want, you know, I don't want to get into the knee talk, but if he takes a knee and then another player takes a knee, that's one thing, but you don't have to strewn it out and go, okay, the whole team's got to do it now. And on top of that, we're taking out the national anthem. Okay. Because it's going to like trail back to, well, who really was the one, you know, one or two or three people that really were upset, right? Per team, right? Was it really the whole team? If it's the whole team, well, the whole team's got to make a statement, right? The whole team has to stand up to it. And then what does that do to, you know, the few people that don't agree with the rest of the team? It just complicates things. It doesn't take away the divisiveness. It just complicates it more.
At the end of the day, basketball, sports, it's an entertainment business, right? People go, yay, he can shoot a ball from 26 feet out. Hooray. And it's exciting. You feel like you're a part of something, right? You feel like you're a part of the team when you watch it. They're my team, right? They're my team. We won the title. Oh, last night, folks, we lost last night. We did that. Whenever you watch a team, that's what it feels like. You're a part of it. Has nothing to do with you. But our city did something. The Mavericks, we won the title. The Stars got to the Stanley Cup. We almost won it, but we lost. Oh, it's heartbreaking, right?
Mm.
But that's not how it is. That's not how it is. That's not how we feel in Dallas, in the Dallas area. And look, I'm not saying there aren't people who feel that way. There's a ton of people who feel that way. That's fine. But I feel like there's tons more who feel the other way. Benjamin says it right here. Says we fall in love with the team, not the players. We love name of the team. Right. You know what team I fell in love with? The United States. Right. It doesn't matter who the coach is. It doesn't matter who the president is. I love the United States because it afforded us all the opportunities we've had in our life. Right. Every single time. Look, people think, oh, you're a white guy. You have all the privilege. Bro, we did not grow up rich. We lived in a house that we were laughed at for playing, we had a house. It was awesome, right? We made the most of it. We watched our parents literally scrap from nothing, going from foreclosure, right? Going through tax issues, right? You think if anybody was to be pissed about the United States, it would be us watching our parents struggle with the tax issues that they've had and all the issues they had with the government. It's like we've watched this, but I can't find any people who love their country more than our parents. Like, what does that say? They've been through these shit. They've been wrung through this whole thing. And I think it's like, at the end of the day, yeah, I like the Mavericks, but I love this country a hell of a lot more. When we talk about Texas secession and stuff, hey, you know what? Let's talk about it. Colors are still red, white, and blue, as long as it still has the same ideals.
Yeah. It's a generational thing, I think. I think a lot of any kind of patriotism instilled in us was instilled in us growing up in school, where we still stood up and did a Pledge of Allegiance. We had our grandfather, Grandpa John, I think instilled a lot of that, Navy guy. And, you got people on one side that are going to say, it doesn't mean anything to me. And you have people on the other side that says it means a whole hell of a lot to me. And for the people that say, well, look, it doesn't mean anything to me, that doesn't mean that it just needs to be removed. Find any one thing that means anything to you, and I'll tell you it means nothing. And you need to get rid of it out of your life. You're going to have a problem with that. Okay. It might not be anything American related. It might not be the American flag. It might not be something religious. It might just be, your record collection right behind me. Well, music fills my soul with something. It makes me, it saved my life. It means something to me. Okay. Well, if you're going to go up to that person and say, look, music really has done a lot of damage to this country. If you look at rock and roll and what it did, and, it's the devil's music, and, start throwing out whatever your perspective is, then that person's going to then have a problem connecting with what your side of it is. Does that mean you need to remove that important thing from your life and nobody gets to appreciate it? Anyway, I digress.
Chacho wants me to read this. Oh, there we go. Chancho says, please read this. Go to the outskirts of Mexico City, where my family is from. See real poverty. See real suffering. See a child whose only food is the food you bring them. My dad's side of family is from Syria. I have uncles and cousins with PhDs and are working as waiters and maids to flee their home country and get to be in the U.S. because there's more opportunity as a waiter in the USA than a Christian with a PhD in Syria. Right.